the worst way for the right to honor Charlie Kirk would be to now tamping down on the free speech.
Yeah.
They're trying to label people radical left just because they do not agree with their policies, just because they do not agree with their rhetoric. I think Trump institutionalized that the Antifa is a domestic terrorist group. Now, the problem with that is Antifa is not an organized group. It does not have a clear leader.
Yeah.
It's rather very loose. And when you say that kind of organization is a terrorist organization, all kinds of loophole open for you to infringe upon people's freedom of speech and then go against them, put them into jail, and do worse with them. Just hope that they do not use Charlie Kirk's death as their Reichstag fire. I think it's worth going down what Reichstag fire was. In the 1932,
Hitler,
I believe,
right?
or 1933, in Germany, Reichstag is their parliament building. And what happened was their parliament building was burned by Marnus van der Lubbe. The Hitler's party said it's a communist plot against us. And then they started damping down on quote-unquote communist. What happened afterwards was the president of that time, Hitler was a chancellor. The president of the time, he gave Hitler a blanket kind of check for him to use his extra constitutional, extrajudicial rights in the way he saw fit. He used his policemen as his own military unit. And what he did was started going against his political opponents. Within 3 to 4, 5 months of time, they legislated this act called as Enabling Act, which essentially established Hitler as the dictator of Germany. I'll bring you back to Reichstag fire. Historians to this day debate whether it was done by a communist. It's not clear. But that's not even the point who did it. The point is, yes, 100% it was the wrong act. You should not burn the parliament building. But Hitler used that as a pretext to solidify his own standing, gave him more constitutional rights, and he became dictator within 5 to 6 months of the Reichstag fire. And then followed is known by all of us.
Yeah, World War II.
The Holocaust, the World War II, the whole shebang. Yeah, the democracy in US is more strong than the 1930s Germany, but the empire do fall. The erosion of democratic policy tendencies in US this year has been faster than it has been faster than any time in our history. And I'm not exaggerating this. Say, for example, in 20, 30 years, if we're all alive, if we're reading a book that is about the dictatorship in America, the first few chapters would read exactly like this. So what happens after this, it would not be any astronomical expansion of what Trump is currently doing.
Facts and opinions.